Hey guys, hope everything's going well. You guys know the drill. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below. Today, I'm going to be doing a different type of video. I'm not going to be talking about sports cards, but I really wanted to talk about this topic because it is gone completely crazy. Okay, Rachel Nichols versus Maria Taylor, and the huge dumpster fire going on at ESPN. Rachel Nichols had a leaked audio come out stating that while she is for diversity, she did not want Maria Taylor taking her job. And she basically implied that Maria Taylor is not a diversity hire, but she's going to take over her role because of diversity. And it's quite interesting. Rachel Nichols is all about wokeness in the past, but people don't care about that. She said all of these things last year, and now her true feelings are coming out about it. She even laughed about BLM and the Me Too movement when talking to one of LeBron James' buddies. It's quite interesting. This reminds me of people like Rachel Nichols. I've met them. They're all about diversity. They're all about extreme progressive causes. But at the end of the day, they live in the most homogenous neighborhoods. They live, to be blunt, in the whitest neighborhoods. And I asked them, don't you want to live in a more diverse area? She's like, but these schools are good for my kids. So these people, they virtue signal about all these type of causes which they hold true to their heart, but at the end of the day they choose to live in the whitest neighborhoods. I just find it quite interesting. Really interesting. Now, that being said, it's quite interesting how ESPN is turning into a dumpster fire. I remember a few years ago, or reading about this, there was the CEO, John Skipper, and he said in 2017, after the whole Kaepernick thing went down, that ESPN is no longer a political organization, or is not a political organization. And eventually they got rid of Jamel Hill. And if you look at it, John Skipper was laying down the law for no politics because they don't want it to turn into what it's turning into now. And John Skipper left ESPN in 18 because of a cocaine extortion plot, based on what I read. And then there was new leadership at ESPN, and ESPN became woke again right after that, or shortly after that. And it became somewhat of a political organization. And the ratings haven't done as well as they have in the past. Now, what am I trying to say? Or what am I thinking? I'm thinking, is ESPN, or was Skipper, was he blackmailed? That's what I'm thinking. Are these guys blackmailed to a certain degree? I know it sounds insane to even think about that, but you have to ask, why on earth would they become woke when it could turn into a situation like this? Because we have Nichols, a woman, a white woman, and we have Maria Taylor, who's African American. And now it appears that different groups are going to be turning against each other. And it's becoming more of an issue of identity politics. And when you have a situation like this, you have different groups competing for the top spot. And because of all of this, this is why you see the Olympics, for example. They don't want to delve into any political discussion. They don't want to do that because they realize that different groups may have problems with a particular protest. Suppose an individual protests against China. That's going to be a huge geopolitical situation. That's why the Olympics has been very adamant about not wanting any form of political protest. That's the issue here, is they don't want it to turn into a hot war. They don't want it to turn into trade wars. They don't want any of that going on, because at the end of the day, the Olympics, they want to see the top athletes from around the world, and they want to give the medals to the best athlete out there, regardless of race, regardless of what country they're from. And it's a good way to get people together. And the way that I look at it is, in a society that is heterogeneous, the way you diffuse tensions is through sports. And the minute you get into politics, the number one issue that may arise is people will get into heated discussions. Look at last year. People were really tense. And if you just focus on entertainment, sports, and none of the politics are getting involved, you don't have that tension. You could have people from different backgrounds, from different parts of the country, different political beliefs, all come together. They could, break bread and have a good time. Now, the minute you open Pandora's box, what is going to happen? See, what I'm looking at right now, if the sports world goes woke, if the media goes woke, they're going to definitely turn on each other. And if you say something negative about that, or if you say in a derogatory manner or somewhat derogatory manner, you could get canceled. And I'll give you one instance. I believe it was maybe 20, 30 years ago, there was a bill that allowed female athletes to get scholarships. I think it's Title IX. I forget. Correct me if I'm wrong. And this title allowed more female athletes at the expense of male athletes. Now there's a push for transgendered athletes to compete, and this is happening at the Olympics, I believe, for the New Zealand team, where there are biological males, from my reading, or they were born as biological males. Let me rephrase that. And now they have transitioned. Now they are participating in the women's sports. And it appears that this one individual is going to win a medal, and he's 42. I mean, this individual is 42 years old. So if you look at that, we could see some of the female reaction, and they aren't having it. They don't like it, but some of them have been told to be quiet because of any backlash, any loss of endorsements, etc. Cancel culture is real, and first it may have started out as benign, but eventually different groups, you could say marginalized groups, are going to eat each other alive. And this is why, while I haven't talked about it on this channel, I don't think politics should be involved, or identity politics should be involved in sports or the sports media, because you could have a situation like ESPN. And I think it's going to get much worse as society gets more crazier. It already is. Just imagine 5 to 10 years from now. And I also saw this one story today where I believe it was an African American ex-employee of ESPN. He said that Woj, the top NBA guy at ESPN, was stepping all over African Americans to get to the top. And he basically implied that he was a racist. So this is where we're going right now. And I think it's really dangerous if this continues with wokeness, with everyone eating each other alive. And unfortunately, I don't see it improving anytime soon. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think about all of this craziness. I was laughing all day when I got to know more information about it. I was thinking about it. I was like, maybe I'll do a video in a few weeks talking about how all of this stuff is dividing and conquering people, and it's not a good thing. But I had to get it off my chest since I have a YouTube channel. It's my hobby, and I like doing sports videos. Even though today is going to be, I believe, the NBA Finals game, that's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about Chris Paul, how he could potentially win his first title after 16 years or so. It's a great story. I'm cheering for the Suns tonight or this series. That's what we should be talking about. We should not be talking about all of this insanity going on ESPN. And the funny part now is Rachel Nichols has been replaced by an African American lady. So it happened to her twice. What is she thinking now? This is the funniest thing that I've seen in a long time. I've had a good day just watching all these videos and learning more about this. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below, guys. Thanks. Bye.